Why is balance in life and work so important, and how do you achieve that? I'll explain in this video. Hello, I'm Stephen Goldberg of Optimus Performance, bringing you practical tips and ideas on leadership, team development, and employee performance in the workplace. Spring has sprung. Yesterday was the first day of spring, and the temperature rose beautifully. Prior to that, it had been still quite cold, and it made me think about this past winter and how nature has refound a balance. Because of COVID-19, it seems, human activity has reduced itself because of COVID. People have been not moving around. The lockdown has happened in many countries, and this has reduced human activity and also contributed to a slowing of climate change, perhaps. Winter has not been the same like it has been this past year for many years. I remember when I was a kid, the snow was more abundant. There was never these periods of rain and thaw in the middle of winter like we've been having over the past several years. We used to live across the street when I was very young from a park. I loved hockey. I used to go out every day after school, and the ice was always frozen. There was always snow. It was incredible. And the past years has been terrible in terms of the effect, what I think of climate change on winter, with a lot of rain, very cold and warm. It's been horrible, but this past winter, it seems like we've gone back in time and everything is in balance. And that made me think about this whole topic of balance. And when we're out of balance, things don't go well. I know my partner is a psychologist and works with a lot of employee assistance programs, and she sees people that are either burnt out or stressed or have a bad relationship with somebody at work. And this puts people into imbalance. And, we call it things like depression, stress, anxiety, but it affects every aspect of a person's being. And I call it being out of balance. And you need to step back and look at, well, what's causing this balance and how do I reset myself? Just like nature has done this year, because of having the opportunity to do so. Human activity has reduced, so nature can rebalance itself. And it made me think that human beings need to find that balance again, not only with nature, but with ourselves, because we are natural beings. And the way to find that balance is really to understand ourselves and think about who we are, what we are as beings. We look for balance outside of ourselves. We try and fit in well. We try and adapt to the world around us. But first, to really have balance, we need to understand ourselves and fit well with ourselves. And that means understanding that there's the intellectual part of ourselves, there's the emotional part, and then there's the physical, instinctive. We call that the three-brain approach to self-knowledge, self-understanding. And to be effective as a human being, to be happy, to be productive, to maintain one's equilibrium, we need to be in balance with those three intelligences. That means that we need to understand when to use and how to use our intellectual capacities to the utmost, how to develop and use our emotions in the way that's most appropriate, and also our physical self, our instinctive nature. I am going to be publishing a Know Yourself training that I'll make available, and that will be coming out soon. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'm also in my next video going to be talking about fear and the levels of growth of a human being, because fear is the one thing that throws us all out of balance, because it puts us in a state of self-protection. And when somebody, going back to that example of being stressed out at work or becoming anxious because of a situation that occurred, and then the person has to go out and seek help, well, there's a certain fear that's being activated, and the person, we go into a self-protective mode, and this is to protect ourselves from whatever's occurring that's causing that stress. But if we stay there for too long and we don't find a solution, we become imbalanced, and that stress could lead to serious consequences, health issues, relationship issues, and that's how it affects the dimensions of life. And I'll go into depth more in this concept in my next video, so stay tuned for that one. So to be better balanced in life, understand yourself, be conscious, use your capacities, your three intelligences in a balanced manner, learn from others, and this will help you to be more balanced and self-aware, happier, and more productive. Check out some of the other related videos. There's one recommended for you right now. Check out the articles in the blog section of my website. Subscribe, as I mentioned, if you haven't already. Turn on notifications when you do subscribe to get news of new videos. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.